We're going to switch our attentions from mainstream sport to the world of volleyball, and also a bit about basketball as well, taking place right here at Dubai Sports World. Before I introduce our guests over to my right-hand side, that includes some volleyball players as well. Panelists who have come in sandals. How is your volleyball? Because the last time I saw you play, Toby Gregory, you didn't even use your hands. You were heading it over the net, which I think is illegal.
You do what you can to win. I was fairly successful. I think we wrapped up that game comfortably ourselves. Obviously, Archer, he's been practicing in the off-season. I think tonight's going to be a harder clash.
Mark Archer, you claim to be an expert at volleyball, and you were the worst of the bunch a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I might not be good, but I'm good enough to take on Zolf, Toby and yourself, so I'm very confident in that respect.
And Zulf, you've been moaning, apparently your shoulder's out and you can't play. It all sounds like excuses to me.
Rubbish. We remember last year when we were here at our spiritual home away from homes. I think I walked away with all the prizes. This year I have actually undergone triple shoulder surgery and will decline. Probably spiking is not ideal for shoulder surgery like that. Volleyball jargon.
Yeah. It wasn't that funny.
No.
Thanks for trying.
It was fact, not humour.
Right, let's bring in our guests then over on my right-hand side, and there's hundreds of them as well. That's how popular volleyball is too. We've got Karen Remo, the Managing Director of New Perspective Media, and alongside her, the account manager from the same company, Arvin William Dauz as well. They are the event organisers on behalf of our sister station here at ARN. Tag 91.1. There is, of course, a huge Filipino community that love the sports of basketball and of volleyball as well, Karen. And you've been busy over the summer and Ramadan in particular, organising a range of different leagues right here at Dubai Sports World. Tell us about them.
Oh, yes, definitely. We're very, very proud to say that quite a lot of Filipinos actually came in here. So for the first day, which started on Friday, we've got around more than 2,000 Filipinos just coming over here, just watching and playing basketball and volleyball. What's interesting is that Filipinos really love playing basketball and volleyball. And whenever they play, they really bring together their grannies, their dads, their schoolmates, and it's actually the whole family. So what happened was really a fun day, a family day, and we're able to actually promote Tag 91.1 as the ideal station for the Filipinos.
And when you say large numbers, they're beyond that. They are colossal numbers. How many people have you had over the past few days and weeks?
We've actually have had this for 2 days only, yesterday and today, and the championship will be on the August 16th. And so far, we have a turnout on the first day of around 2,000, and similar numbers for this day.
Now, we'll come on to the basketball in just a moment, but the volleyball has been taking place over to our right-hand side, right by this wonderful studio that Dubai have for the grill. What's the standard like? What kind of teams are involved? And again, how many people are actually turning out to play in the volleyball specifically?
I'll turn this over to our account manager, Arvin.
First thing, hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, Ben. Regarding the rules, we're using the amateur rules for FIBA, Amateur Rules International. So we have basically 8 teams, and they've gone through the griddle 2 games each. Now we are in the elimination, 3 games each, and we're running through them. We have completed almost all of the basketball stuff, but right now we're the volleyball is still in the heat of things.
So the volleyball, like you say, is in the middle of the tournament. Give us a bit of insight into the teams involved, because I know we're rubbish and the grill panelists had a go and could barely get it over the net, but the standards still, neutrally speaking, look very high.
Actually, what we have here is we're not really out for competition. We're not getting international players with international backgrounds. We want it to be fun, but we don't want it to be, spiking over people's faces and whatnot. We want it to be a fun game, so we have players who have played collegiate back in the Philippines, but we also have a lot of people here coming in without any professional or collegiate experience. And that for me is because more than the competition, this is about having people come together.
So you've brought along a couple of players who are on rival teams based on their shirts. One is orange and one is purple, but nonetheless they're happy to sit on the same couch and get along. Introduce us to them, and then perhaps once you've done that, they could just explain what actually makes a good volleyball player.
Sure, I'll be my pleasure. Beside me is Sharon from iPlay and Guy from Friday Smashers. Just to give you a bit, in about 10 minutes after this interview, they're going to go at each other's throats in the next game, okay? Here's Sharon.
Yeah,
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, Ben.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into volleyball and what you think makes a strong player.
No, actually, it's just because we are here an overseas Filipino worker. We don't have anything else to do. Find time to, entertain and amuse ourselves. So we come into, we ended up playing volleyball. And through this, we developed camaraderie regarding, together with our friends. So through this sport, we've actually ventured into having more and more extension of friends and friends.
And is it only volleyball, or do you play the basketball too?
No. Basically, we're a volleyball team, so it's just about it.
And passing it over to your rival,
Yeah,
are you better or worse?
That we could not say. Basically, I represent Friday Smashers. Originally, it's a group of badminton players. But then, as we go along, we discovered that a lot of us are actually volleyball aficionados. So we tried to form a team, and then here we are. And we're going to have to crush the purple team tonight, because we have to advance to the semis. And our standing is 1-1, so we'll have to win this game.
That's fighting talk.
Yes.
Just a quick question. Amongst the masses of obviously your participants here, is someone who's very familiar to the grill. It's our ex-esteemed producer Roy, who's hiding away. Roy Lampara, who's hiding away amongst the group. Just wondering if Roy's any good at volleyball or basketball. We just thought this was part of his entourage, part of his fan club, but obviously you're much better.
Pretty Roy, he's affectionately known in the Filipino community. Yeah, used to be known.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not.
You don't?
I don't know anything about any of these games.
Just when we thought we kicked him off the show forever, not only does he make an on-air appearance for probably longer than he ever did when he was the producer of the grill, but he comes with a fan club of about 100 people. Now, guys, what time does the big match kick off?
Actually, it's in about 15 minutes, as I said.
In about 15 minutes. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take a very quick break in a moment, and then when we come back, we're going to have a very quick go before the match starts, and you're going to have to give us a few little basic tips, and then we'll leave you to it, and maybe you can come on afterwards and tell us if you won or you lost. But just to finish with, before we do take a break, to either Arvin or to Karen, give us a bit of insight into the basketball side of things as well. We've obviously focused on the volleyball because it's going on at the moment, but how did that go? And presumably amongst Filipinos, basketball is even more popular than volleyball. Well, we know it is.
Yeah, well, basketball is in the Philippines is just huge. For a country with so little people, so basketball is the number one sport.
When you say that, do you mean the people are little? Or
Small people,
or
yeah.
you mean small population?
Average height, there's like 5'3", 5'5" for females, and and we just love basketball all throughout the country. You see a lot of courts in hard ground dust courts made out of steel rings and nothing, no sport other than basketball rules the country. So when Tag 91.1 wanted a sports event for the summer, basketball was the number one thing. So right now we have a juniors and seniors division, and we've actually gone through the eliminations and semifinals. We're looking to crown the champions on the 16th, and to see these guys play, I mean, each player brought their families, their friends, and everyone else, and you had the two courses rocking from the people cheering, and it's not professional level basketball like you see in the NBA or anything like that, but the heart of the Filipino is there. We might,
and that's the most important thing.
Exactly.
Just to add on something, actually, there were hundreds of teams who actually applied for the tournament, for the basketball tournaments, for the junior and the men's team. Out of hundreds, we've actually chosen only 16. So you would see the enthusiasm of all the Filipinos to actually join this kind of sport.
Absolutely. And just before we take a break, if people would like to learn more, to reiterate, this is a league at Dubai Sports World sponsored by ARN's sister station Tag 91.1. It's relatively new, and you should certainly tune in and have a look at the radio content there. Is that the same website if people would like to know more details?
Yes, please. They can check out www.tag911.ae.
Tag911.ae for more information. .ae